So, Grishma,
we can start, right?
we can start.
Yes, sir. Okay. Good evening to one and all present here, the respected dignitaries, faculty members, and my dear fellow students. As you all know, we have gathered here for the induction program of Project Management Institute, Saintgits Academic Forum. I welcome you all to the first event of PMI Kerala Academic Forum of Saintgits College of the year 2020-2021. So without any further ado, let's begin our function with a prayer song sung by our very own Joel Prince Kawalam.
Hello, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Joel. Yes, you are.
Okay. You saved me from my destruction. You turned my feet from death. You lifted me with your kindness. You filled me in with your breath. How can I thank you? What can I bring? I will stand and worship you for everything you are to me. I will lift my voice in praise for all the wonders you display. I will stand and worship you. You draw me with tender mercies. You hold me in your grace. So I will fall down in reverence at the mystery of yours. So how can I thank you? And what can I bring? I will stand and worship you for everything you are to me. I will lift my voice in praise for all the wonders you display. I will stand and worship you.
Thank you, Joel. Now I call upon Assistant Professor Philip Jacob Perugate, the Academic Forum convener, to deliver the welcome speech and the annual report of the year 2019 and 2020. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Grishma. Hope I am audible.
Yes, sir, you are.
Fine. Respected President of the meeting, guest of honor, members of PMI Forum, especially from PMI Kerala chapter, professionals from various industries across the globe, fellow faculty members from Saintgits and other institutions, and amicable dear student forum members. Let me introduce myself first. I am Philip Jacob Pereira, forum convener of PMI Kerala Academic Forum of Saintgits College of Engineering, and a proud PMI member for the past 2 years. It gives me immense pleasure to extend to you all very warm greetings on behalf of PMI Kerala Academic Forum of Saintgits College of Engineering, the first academic forum in an engineering college under PMI Kerala chapter. It is my pleasure and privilege to welcome all to grace this occasion together as a family of PMI to mark another landmark of success. Allow me to welcome all to this induction program for student members for academic year 2020-21. My present duty is to welcome all to this function and give a brief walkthrough of our activities during the last academic year. Let me begin by welcoming the man of distinct vision and a fountainhead of illuminating ideas, Engineer Punus George, the Executive Chairman and Secretary of Saintgits Group of Institutions. It was his motivation and inspiration that made this forum into a reality. With great happiness, I welcome you, sir. I also welcome Dr. Joseph Kunju Paul C., the principal of Saintgits College of Engineering. I welcome you, sir, to this function. With immense pleasure, I welcome the academic leaders of this institution, on particular, Dr. M.D. Matthews, sir, who is the Dean Research of Saintgits College of Engineering. He is the president of this meeting. Truly an honor to have you, sir, in our midst. I welcome you, sir, to the function. Now, I would like to welcome the man of the day, our guest of honor, Mr. Lee R. Lambert. He is a versatile professional with tremendous experience in project management. As a result of his pragmatic application of project management methodologies, he was named as one of the 70 PMI fellows. He also received one of the PMI's highest honors, the Professional Development Provider for the year 2007. A detailed introduction about the guest of honor will be followed soon after the welcome address. It is a huge privilege and honor, and we are truly humbled to have him here with us on this online platform. We welcome you, sir, to this function. Next on the row, I would like to welcome all PMI members and other industry professionals across the globe, especially PMI Kerala chapter members. I would like to welcome all board members of PMI Kerala chapter in detail. We have Dr. Krishna Kumar TI, who serves as the president of PMI Kerala chapter. I'm honored to welcome you, sir, to this function. Now, with extreme happiness, I welcome Sri Harikuttan K, Vice President Operations of PMI Kerala chapter. I would like to welcome Sri Jayakishore Assa, Vice President Education of PMI Kerala chapter. It's an honor to welcome you, sir, to this function. Now, I would like to welcome Sri Dilip Vishwanathan, Vice President, Professional Development of PMI Kerala chapter. It's our privilege to have you, sir, and I also welcome you, sir, to this function. I would like to welcome all PMI Kerala chapter members to this function. I welcome all each and every PMI members to this function. Now, I would like to welcome all faculty members of Saintgits group of institutions to this event. I also welcome all members from other institutions to this function as well. Last and not the least, I take this opportunity to welcome every student members to this function. You are the driving force behind the forum. I look forward to associating with you. With this, I conclude my welcome speech, but my duty continues. As the convener of the forum, what makes me happy and proud is that the membership of the forum has increased from 51 in 2018 to 141 at present. Let me take this opportunity to brief you on the forum activities in the last year. As you have noticed on our website, the forum has conducted various activities and bagged a few notable achievements last year. Thanks to all active forum members, inauguration of the first induction program was conducted on October 19, 2019, followed by website launching, release of the first newsletter, expert talks by PMI professionals, and one-on-one mentoring sessions on the very same day. We participated and volunteered for PMI Kerala at HATS 2020 on January 18. The forum conducted its second version of Business Quest in 3 different rounds on March 4th, 2020. We have participated and volunteered for PMI Kerala at Wings 2020, which was happened in March 7th. We have won the second and third prizes for the state level quiz competition during this event. The forum has conducted a webinar on leading through the normal new by Sri Salil J. Ambat, Associate Director, DXC Technologies on June 27, 2020. We have volunteered and participated at Waves 20, and Saintgits group of institutions was the engineering forum partner for this mega international event. This year, we intend to conduct a business plan and idea pitching competition. We are planning to give training sessions on CAPM certification and Six Sigma exclusively for our forum members. Unfortunately, we couldn't move forward last year with this training due to the pandemic condition. But this year, we are planning to conduct all the training sessions online. I hope the action plan works effectively with the active participation of the forum members. To all of you, once again, thank you for being here. Welcome and enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you. Over to you, Grishma.
Thank you, sir. Now, I would like to invite Dr. M.D. Matthew Dean of Research at Saintgits College of Engineering, for the presidential address. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Girishma. Am I audible to you?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Okay. Chief guest of the function, Mr. Lee Lambert, Fellow of Project Management Institute and co-founder of Project.
Sir, could you just check with your audio?
Matthew, sir.
Matthew, sir, your audio. So we can't hear you.
Matthew, sir, sorry, your mic is mute.
No, it's not muted.
No, it's not muted.
Net connection is bad.
Yeah.
Sir, can you talk?
So could you just reconnect?
No, sir, Matthew, sir, can you please reconnect your headphones?
No, I don't think it is due to net connection because it is something related to.
With the, yes, sir, with the headsets or something. With his mic, I guess.
No, sir, we can hear you. Can you please connect your headphones?
Matthew, sir, in your mute session, there is an up arrow. Can you please go and check which microphone is selected there?
No, sir, you're not audible.
I think he can. I think he can hear us.
Yeah, he can hear us.
He can hear us.
Let me just call it. Let me just call it.
Yeah.
Dear participants, you're extremely sorry. We'll just reconnect in a while.
Okay. Yeah.
Now, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Okay, I logged out and then logged in. Thank
you. So can you start your video? Yeah. We can see you.
I think again his audio is gone.
No, sir, we can hear you.
Sir, can you log out once again and join back?
He has logged off. Vishma, can you introduce the chief guest to the audience?
Yes, sir. So I'm Kellen, and it's my pleasure to introduce the chief guest of our evening. In the profession of project management, Lee R. Lambert, PMP, PMI Fellow, has established the standard against which others in the field are measured. Throughout a fast-paced 18-year corporate career with Chicago Bridge & Iron, Lawrence Livermore National Laboratory, General Electric, Nuclear Reactor Division, and Battelle Memorial Institute, where he worked almost exclusively with engineers and scientists, he quickly ascended to senior management positions and was responsible for the development and implementation of groundbreaking, sophisticated enterprise project management processes for engineering, medical diagnostics, and research and development. In 1981, as a result of his pragmatic application of project management methodology,
Yes, sir. We can hear you.
So I think you forgive me for not being able to connect the video. I don't know what has happened, but I am audible, right?
Yes, sir. You're audible.
yes, sir, you're audible.
So we are currently introducing this chief guest, Matthew sir.
So shall I continue?
You continue.
So in 1891, as a result of his pragmatic application of the project management methodologies, he was invited to be an integral part of the creation of the Project Management Institute's Project Management Professional Certification Program. He is the recipient of the PMI's Distinguished Contribution Award and was a member of the PM Journal editorial review team for over a decade. He also contributed as a subject matter expert for the PMI's Earned Value Management System practice standard. Educated as a mechanical engineer, he is a holder of a master's certificate in project management from George Washington University. Lambert is a frequent lecturer in the prestigious Washington University's Executive Roundtable series. His most recent professional recognition was being named one of the only 70 PMI fellows. He also received one of the PMI's highest honors, the Professional Development Provider of the Year 2007, for his groundbreaking Apply to Learn programs. As an author of 2 books and 32 professional papers, no other project management educator or speaker can contend with his uncanny technical knowledge, material content, and refreshing and entertaining delivery. His hard-hitting but humorous style has mesmerized more than 50,000 students in 23 countries. Lee takes the saying, "Been there, done that, got the t-shirt," to a new level. Now it's time to officially inaugurate our induction program by solving a puzzle that reveals our logo. I invite Mr. Lee.
Please hold on. Let me see if Matthew sir is on the line. Matthew sir, are you there? Matthew sir?
Philip sir, I'm trying. I'm contacting him. Please hold on for a minute. Let me just.
Yeah, sure.
Dear Philip sir, Matthew sir will join in his phone, and he will be joining with us.
Yeah, right.
I think some technical issue with his microphone.
Okay.
Dear participants, we are extremely sorry for this delay which is happening right now. That's due to some network issues which is happening. We are sorry for this. Soon we'll be restarting it. We are sorry.
Matthew sir has joined.
I guess we can continue with the.
I think Matthew sir has joined.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yes,
sir.
yes,
You're
yes.
audible. You're audible.
Sir, in computer, you can switch on your video, sir.
No. I mean, let him put it.
No, anyway, I think let me know.
Yeah.
Let me play it safe. I'm very, very sorry. I do not know. It used to, and in fact, before they started the program, we had a short chat. At that time, everything was okay. But anyway, very sorry about it. So, good evening to everybody. Chief guest of the function, Mr. Lee Lambert, Fellow of Project Management Institute and co-founder of Project Management Professional Certification. Engineer Kunus George, Executive Chairman, Saintgits Group of Professional Colleges. Dr. Joseph Kunjupal, Principal, Saintgits College of Engineering. Dr. Krishna Kumar, President of PMI Kerala Chapter. Vice Presidents and members of PMI Kerala Chapter. Assistant Professor Philip Jacob Perekat, Convener of PMI Kerala Academic Forum of Saintgits College of Engineering. Members of the forum and student members, good evening to all of you. I'm in fact extremely happy to be part of this function, that is the induction ceremony for the new members for academic year 2021 of PMI Kerala Academic Forum of Saintgits College of Engineering. Since Saintgits College of Engineering, we recognize that professional bodies have a very important role in making and shaping our students. Our today's students are tomorrow's engineers. So in order to train them adequately, we realize that professional bodies have a very important role and they have to do a real hand-holding job. They help in baptizing these students into the industry. Today's students become tomorrow's engineers and they move to the industry. So this professional body, all the professional bodies, they have very important roles. Some of these bodies are, general. We have, in fact, in our college, there are 27 professional bodies, active bodies. Some of them span across, various branches of engineering, like, for example, the Institution of Engineers India. Some of the professional bodies are very specific to the particular branch. Say, for example, the American Society for Civil Engineers, or Society for Automobiles. So they are very specific. But to my mind, Project Management Institute goes much beyond these professional bodies. Because for one thing, it's an umbrella professional body for all engineers. And secondly, its focus is very unique. And that is very important also. Because today, in today's professional environment, which is highly competitive and dynamic and continuously evolving and changing, it is very difficult to manage projects. Employees can rarely reach positions of leadership without managing one or more projects in exemplary manners. So those engineers who think that they don't need to care about developing their project management skills, they will either today or tomorrow run into a situation where technical and rational means of solving a problem will simply won't work. But project management is no easy task. We need to have great analytical skills. As project managers must have strong people skills. And they need to manage and interact with a wide variety of people every day. such as clients, bosses, engineers, etc. I am not an expert to deal on these topics, but I understand that there are several skills and attributes that are required for an engineer to be successful in project management. And that is where the Project Management Institute has been playing a very, very important role. Some of the skills that are required to be for an engineer to be very successful in project management have been identified to be effective listening, understanding and working collaboratively with different personality styles, motivating your team members, diplomacy and conflict resolution between competing interests, flexibility in approach, and availability to their clients and team members, effective management of time and resources, understanding how to budget and control cost, because everything is cost and time competitive, schedule the maintenance, that is also very important, and being both a strong leader of your team and also strong follower of your managers. So I'm sure that with such an expert as Lee Lambert, who is a doyen in the field of project management and also a very active member of Project Management Institute, are going to be educated and entertained about the importance of project management. I understand that Mr. Lee has established several benchmarks for excellence in project management. So we at the Saintgits Kerala Academic Forum from Saintgits College of Engineering, we feel it has been, we are very fortunate to have Mr. Lee Lambert joining us, though he is far in the US and it's early morning there. But we are really fortunate to have him and we'll be able to listen to him because he has been one of the pioneers in this field. Now, coming back to the activities in the college, I feel that we were very fortunate to receive strong support, unbounded support from the PMI Kerala chapter. And that has helped us to grow our college, this academic forum of the college, because it was started, I understand, in the year 2018, just over 2 years, but it has grown to sufficient number of membership. It has been carrying out a lot of activities, and it is one of the star performers of various of the professional bodies in our college. Out of the 27 professional bodies which are active in our college, this particular forum is one of the star performers. And the reason, of course, is the dynamic leadership of Philip Jacob Perekat. And I would like to thank everybody for joining this ceremony and wish every success, both for the chapter in the college as well as for the institute at large. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Now it's officially time to inaugurate our induction program by solving a puzzle that reveals our logo. Now I invite Mr. Lee R. Lambert, our chief guest, Dr. Krishna Kumar, Harikutan sir, Jayakishore sir, the guests of the evening to solve the puzzle. Please click the link that has been shared with you. Enter your name in the text box on the left and click the button below it. Now you can begin dragging the puzzle pieces to form the image. Thank you, sir. Now I welcome Mr. R. Lambert to deliver the inaugural address and talk about the project, introducing project management.
Thank you for that introduction, Dr. Matthew. Thank you for your kind words. Every time I hear that introduction, it reminds me how old I am. I've been doing this a long time, and I've been a PMI member for 42 years. So when I was invited to participate in this program, I'd actually got excited to think that I was going to get a chance to share what's happened in my career relative to engineering and project management, and hopefully as an encouragement to those engineers that want to expand their capabilities and expand their value add to their organization. So I'm looking forward to spending some time with you on this program. Let me get my slides up here.
Yes, so we can see the slide. We can see the slide, sir.
Very good, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, so I wanted to use this this particular slide to make a point. The Project Management Institute was formed in 1969, and every 4 years they revise and review what they call the body of knowledge for project management. And every time they do it, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger because the environment of project management changes, the tools and techniques, and so they try to keep current. So people that are working with project management have a reference guide that will let them be sure that they're staying on track with what the latest, greatest approach is. So I sort of jokingly put this up, but the fact of the matter is, this is kind of the key document. When we formed the project management professional program, we rolled it out in 1984. We started working on it in 1981, and it was intended to give people an opportunity to validate that they really understood and executed project management appropriately. Now, back in those days, it was almost entirely engineers, construction engineers, production engineers. That was pretty much the membership base was engineers. As I am, I'm a mechanical engineer by training, and so that's sort of the way we geared it. And I got into the business as an engineer. I was designing downhole nuclear test apparatus, and one of my jobs included putting thermocouples on live high explosive to measure the heat transfer across the explosive, and I was having to actually route them on the high explosive material. And I went home one night, and my wife asked me, what are you doing out there? Because they had me in a site about 18 miles away from anything. And I told her, and she reminded me, she said, that's a one mistake job. Maybe you ought to look around for something else. So I started to look at this idea of project management where I could capitalize on my engineering skills. And I think an engineer is a natural for project management because we've been taught logical thinking process and how things come together. So now all we got to do is look at it from a management perspective. And I think the idea of getting into project management for a young engineer makes all the sense in the world. And once you've decided that you want to move in that direction, certainly there's plenty of resources available to help you do that. And so we want to look at this from that standpoint. The thing is, it's not easy. I mean, some people say it's easy, but that's only easy if you say it fast. I've been doing it now for 54 years, okay? And I still don't have it down. I still don't have it perfect. Even though I've trained over 60,000 people around the world in the benefits of project management, there's always seems like there's a new twist or a new method that we need to incorporate. So, for example, the new I'll call it flavor of the day, is agile. Anything agile is now very popular in project management. The PMI organization has embraced agile as a method that really enables people to deliver better projects faster. And so that trend changes. I've watched it grow from very rudimentary processes to very sophisticated processes that really require automated systems to effectively take advantage of them. But it's a process that needs to be thought through. When you look at this, the reason we test you to see if you can become a credentialed PMI professional, project management professional, it validates that your knowledge level is such that if you're able to make the transition to application, then you'll be able to do that effectively. It comes to mind as a little company you probably have heard of called IBM. IBM in 1993 was projecting an $8 billion loss. And so they brought in a new CEO. They brought in a guy named Lou Gerstner, who came from credit cards and tobacco. So he didn't really have an IBM background, but he came on to try to right that ship, to see if we could save that organization. First thing he did was spend about 6 weeks going around the country, meeting with people who were running projects at IBM. After about 6 weeks, he called his management team together and he said, here's what I've found. I've found that IBM has spread itself too thin. We are trying to do too many things for too many people, and we've lost sight of our core competencies. So what we're going to do is we're going to eliminate 60% of the projects. 60% of the projects will be canceled, and we will focus our attention on the remaining projects in our core competency levels. And so, and he said, and oh, by the way, and this was the key, this was something I really got excited about, because he says, oh, by the way, we're going to use project management as the thread that holds this organization together. In other words, everything is going to be connected. And that's sort of where we are right now in the project management environment. Our new CEO, Sunil Prashara, has introduced the concept of the project economy, which basically says everything's a project, so therefore everybody's a project manager. So IBM came in, they formed this Project Management Center of Excellence, which now we call them PMOs, and implemented it. And within 3 years' time, IBM was profitable again and moving towards success like they'd never encountered before. An example of core competencies, understanding what your core competencies are, is the fact that at that time, the ThinkPad, which was the sort of the premier laptop computer back in those days, Gerstner decided that was not what IBM wanted to be, and therefore he canceled the work on the ThinkPad and sold it to China. So if you're working on a Lenovo, you're working on the old IBM ThinkPad. All of this was made possible by the coordination and implementation of project management, and that takes people to implement and effectively do that. He named a lady named Carol Wright as the head of that, and she made it happen at IBM. You may have an opportunity to make it happen in your organization. Maybe not as big as the IBM example, but you got to look for these opportunities where you can capitalize on your engineering skill and apply that in terms of management relative to helping your organization be successful. One of the keys is, and I learned this because as a mechanical engineer, I moved pretty quickly into the R&D environment. And if any of you are R&D people, you know that you have sort of a different language. It's not quite the same as the hardcore engineer language. And so when I moved into that environment, I saw the opportunities for project management, the opportunities to improve communications and expedite schedules and all the benefits of project management. But I learned that I had to learn their language. I had to be able to relate to them in a way that they felt comfortable that I understand their world, and then apply the concepts of project management. I implemented 2 enterprise systems at 2 national laboratories, and each of them is still in use today. So you've got to learn to speak the language. That means, read up on the latest, greatest effects of project management in organizations today, and think about how can I make it work. We have to understand that it's not all about tools and techniques. It's I like to say it's at least 60% about people. You've got to take your engineering skills and apply it to the ability to motivate and inspire people on your project teams to be more efficient and more effective. So there's a high level of people skills. And for any engineer that I talk with, I encourage them to get involved in coursework if you have to, in terms of improved communications, improved people relationships. I endorse heavily the idea of Toastmasters, where you learn to present material in an effective way. I've been disappointed by the fact that many good project managers generate lots of great information, but then when it comes to presenting it and using it in a way that adds value, they fall short. So Toastmasters has an opportunity to improve your developmental skills in regards to making presentations and working with people based on the information. You also have to recognize how much information you need as a project manager, because engineers know we can engineer things till the sun doesn't shine. I mean, you give me money, I can engineer it, I can make it better, but we have to understand when enough is enough. So we've got the automated capability to generate tremendous amounts of decision support information, but we have to be wise enough to determine what information will add value to that decision-making process. Again, a skill that engineers can easily develop because of their logical thinking process that you've learned in your work towards your degree. So think about project management as a career. Don't think of it as a job. Engineers can then transition into project management and have the opportunity to really make some impact on their organization. So let me kind of sort of circle the wagons here and point out to you, if you're an engineer. Now, I was an engineer. I was an okay engineer. I wasn't great, but when I started to move into project management, I started to see my career take off, because here's the theory behind it. Project managers don't do work. Project managers get work done through others. So you can amplify your value add to your organization by being able to inspire and motivate your team members to produce more and more output. So individually, you don't do anything. I'm going to give you a quick example before I wrap up. When I was working in one of the laboratories, a new guy came in to be my boss, and we didn't get along very well. I hate to admit this, but we didn't. And so he wanted me to do things his way. I wanted to do them my way. We had a conflict. Okay. Well, so by the end of the year, I'd been given sort of an odd portfolio of projects. Odds and ends sort of were given to me. At the end of the year, he called me in. He said, "Are you ready for your review?" And I said, "I sure am," because I was looking forward to showing him just how much we got done in my organization. So he said, "Okay." He said, "Here's what I'm going to do." He said, "You've had 12 major organizational objectives this past year, and what I'm going to do is sort of query you on what your contributions were." And I said, "Okay." So he said, "The first one I want to talk about is the new marketing brochure that you're responsible for our global operations." He said, "So that particular project," he said, "could you tell me exactly what you did on that project?" I said, well, that's easy. I didn't do anything. I said, Paula was responsible for that, and I delegated to her the responsibility, and I think she did a fantastic job. In fact, we got letters from the CEO saying what a great job that was on that particular brochure. But I didn't do anything. He said, okay. He said, then he went through 12 of them. And the answer from me was the same every time. I didn't do anything. I delegated to others to do those things. And we got all done. And he leaned back in his chair and he said, you see what I mean, Lee? You haven't done anything for the past 12 months. I said, oh, but I thought it was about delegating, working through others. And he said, well, it is, but not the way you do it. So I proved to people that I can maximize. I was able to inspire a team of 200 people to deliver a project that normally takes 3 years in 18 months. It can be done. And knowing my engineering base, the grounding of engineering philosophy enabled me to be much more effective in the way I delegated to people. So if you want to advance your career, it's okay to start out doing engineering work. That's very important work. Don't get me wrong. I don't know what the world would be without engineers, but when you reach a certain level, that's as far as you can go. You can't go beyond that as a polished and practiced engineer. So then you start to look at the other career options, and I hope that I can encourage you to consider project management as one of those options. It's been extremely good to me. I've met people all over the world. It's enabled me to be a key player in terms of selling the idea of project management to engineers all over the world. So if you've ever got a need or ever got a question, please feel free to contact me, and I will be happy to share my experience and give my advice to you as a growing engineer thinking about moving into the field of project management. You have a great chapter here. The Kerala chapter is fantastic. I've been working with them now for about a year. I'm really amazed at the programs they offer to their people. And so I think you've made a good connection in hooking up with this particular project management oriented organization. All right, that's about all I've got from a formal perspective right now. If you've got questions, I'll be happy to answer them, or depending on how they want to flow the questions, we may save them to the end, but I'll turn it back to you.
Dear participants, you can use the chat box for sharing your questions. Ms. Lambert, could you just tell us more about CAPM?
More about what? I'm sorry.
CAPM.
Yeah, the CAPM, I think, is a great, well, let's talk engineering language. In engineering, of course, you have the EIT, engineering training. That's sort of what the CAPM is. It's basically saying, I want to move into the world of project management, and I want to validate that I understand it well enough to be given this, I'm going to call it EIT equivalent in engineering. And then once you've had that opportunity, in order to move forward and eventually become PMP certified. Now, remember, there's 1.3 million PMPs in the world today. So it's definitely seen as a very advantageous credential, but you have to have enough experience in applied project management in your organizations to be able to qualify to sit for the PMP. The CAPM is not exactly the same. You can take it and get that and then begin that to be your first step towards the PMP. I think it's a great credential. We didn't have that in the beginning. We just had the PMP, and we were sort of leaving out the entry-level people. And so we added the CAPM, and it's made a big difference in terms of the number of people moving into the project management arena, preparing for that opportunity to take the exam.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Lee. We have one more question from our audience. That is, can students who have taken up MBA after graduation in commerce be effective project managers? What do you think?
Well, here's the thing. I think it's sort of like, I mean, academia, when you come out of academia, you're still thinking about philosophy and academic approaches to solving problems. When you come out and then move into the real world of employment, so to speak, you have to start to apply that academic knowledge, but in a structured way. And so you can't, I've never known anybody to come right out of school and become very effective as project managers. You've got to take some time to learn the environment. I mean, there's so many different kinds of project managers that you have to spend some time. I spent the first 5 years of my career. I started in 1966. Now, I know that's probably before some of you were even born, but I spent about 5 years just being an engineer and watching how projects were executed, and then started to move into that field. I could see that that was an area I wanted to be involved in.
Lee, we have one more question. Most of the graduates, like engineering graduates, just after completion of their course are aiming for PMP certification or going for project management courses. Is it a good move, or is it necessary to be skilled up as an engineer?
Well, that's kind of a personal decision, because I mean, I know some engineers that just love engineering. That's all they want to do. But if you're thinking beyond the short term, then you may want to take classes to improve your knowledge and understanding of project management, so that when the opportunity to become a project manager presents itself, you're ready. I think the PMI chapter has lots of programs. There's plenty of web exercises you can do. If you're a member of the chapter, and if you're not, you should be if you're thinking about project management, but the chapter gives you the opportunity to gain knowledge from other members that have been in the business for a long time. PMI even has a student membership if you want to take advantage of that. But I think if you think you want to be a project manager, clearly the sooner you can digest the academic side of project management, the sooner you'll be able to apply that in the real world.
Thank you, Lee. Now, moving on, I invite Dr. Krishna Kumar TI, President, PMI Kerala Chapter, to address and officially announce the office bearers of the PMI Academic Forum for the academic year 2020-2021. Over to you, sir.
Hi, hope I am audible.
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Yeah. First of all, thank you, Lee, for wonderful presentation and for accepting our invite and being a chief guest of the event and inaugurate the entire student forum. That is really a great pleasure for us, because you are one of the founders of PMP, and we are very fortunate to have you here. So, first of all, thank you for that. Dear Lee, esteemed Saintgits faculty members, resource persons, students, dear friends, and my PMI Kerala chapter family. A very good morning and good afternoon or good evening to you according to your geography, right? I'm Dr. Krishna Kumar, President of PMI Kerala. It's a real honor and a privilege to be in front of you as the President of PMI Kerala to announce the leaders of this wonderful student academic forum of Saintgits College of Engineering. As Lee already said, Project Management Institute, PMI, is the world's leading not-for-profit professional membership association for the project program and portfolio management. Founded in 1969, that is 51 years since founded, PMI delivers value to more than 3 million professionals working in nearly every country in the world. We, the PMI Kerala chapter, started as very small 16 years ago. Now it has been grown to one of the globally recognized chapters. PMI Kerala is going through a very great transformational phase as we are transformed ourselves from an organization of professionals to an organization of socially responsible professionals, and we are trying to make changes positively to our society. It's a very amazing transformation, and we won many international awards. And I would like to officially place in record our gratitude to Saintgits College of Engineering for supporting us in all these. Academic Forum is a PMI Kerala's unique initiative to impart project management knowledge to the student community in engineering and management colleges of Kerala. Project management is recognized as one of the life skill by United Nations, and our efforts to bring project management knowledge to the student community has a significant importance over many years. We have already been institutionalized academic forums in colleges across Kerala, and Saintgits is one of the first engineering college and a pioneer institute who have been associated with us to form an academic forum. PMA Kerala organized WINGS, a statewide academic forum conclave, to host a platform for the business school and the professional college students, faculty members, research practitioners, and academia and industry to come together and share their thoughts and sessions. And it is to bridge the gap between what is happening in the industry and what is in the academia. So we provide mentoring sessions through the academic forums from industry experts from various industries, and we support internships and provide guidance to the career through esteemed faculties and resource persons. Chapters pioneered in PMI strategy of 5 to 75 years age of young and senior professionals. We start from school-going kids. We started academic forum to the schools itself, to college-going children, where we have academic forums, mentorship sessions, we have internship expos, we have placement drives. We already placed over 100 students previous year. Startup summits, in addition to PM sessions, we have business quiz and academic conclave. We are catering to mid-level professionals, senior professionals like Lee, and the social service driven professionals. We have programs like UDAN and DISHA to empower socially, physically, and economically challenged kids. And we participated in flood relief activities and rebuild activities of Kerala. And usually, I tell a story in academic forums, and some of you may have heard this story, that there was a shepherd in the Spain. He was been sleeping in a green meadow, and he saw a wonderful dream. And in the dream, an angel told him that there is a huge treasure awaiting him in Egypt, right? So he got so excited, and he started preparing for the journey to the Egypt. He sold all his sheep, bought the material for the journey. He started traveling in a camel with food and water along with him. In between, he lost his way, and he was wandering for many days. His reserve food and water is getting over. One day, he met a saint, and the saint requested for some food and water. He happily gave food and water to the saint. And after having the food, right, the saint said, everything will be going to be okay in the end. If it is not okay, then it is not the end. Just follow your heart. And the saint moved on. On the journey through the desert, he found some pebbles which are very much glowing. His inner voice says, take it. He reluctantly take many of them, and put it in the bundle, and it has been repeated many a times. He collected many pebbles as possible, and once he reached the oasis, he was very thirsty and hungry. Right? He threw his backpack and put and had some food and water. After having food and water, he checked his backpack. He understood that the pebbles, whatever he collected, were actually the precious diamonds or the treasure he was looking for. So every story will have some learnings, right? And here are the key learnings. Listen to the key great visionaries like Lee and the industrialist who is coming to the academic forum. Many of the messages may not be very relevant to you as of now, or maybe you may be perceiving that it may not be relevant now, but it will be relevant at the time of need. Finding a treasure is not at the final destination. It's just a journey. Whatever the learnings you go through this, store it and use it whenever it is required. Sharing is caring, and if you are able to share with the whole heart, the fortune will come to you without your knowledge. And it is very fortunate that you are all part of this very great initiative, and sure, there's a huge fortune is coming to you, coming towards you in the form of a lot of knowledge. By saying this, I would like to officially announce the office bearers of PMI Academic Forum of Saintgits College of Engineering for this year. The forum convener, Philip Jacob, is the person, the man behind the whole thing. The president, Prajit Prasanna Kumar, is the final year student. We have Vice President Operations, who is the secretary, John Joseph. Vice President Treasurer, Grishma Susan Reggie. Vice President Volunteers, Kellen Mariam. Vice President Professional Development, Joel Prince. Vice President Marketing, Lavanya Mary Matthew. And the immediate past president is Daniel Cherian Varghese, who is the alumni. From the board of PMI Kerala Board of Directors, I take this privilege to giving a special thanks to Punnu sir, the chairman, the visionary behind the Saintgits College of Engineering Academic Forum, Mr. M.D. Matthew, the Dean Research, Saintgits College of Engineering, Philip, who is the faculty in charge and the powerhouse behind all these academic forum activities and everything which is happening now. Special mention to all the past presidents, secretary, treasurer, and vice presidents in the academic forums. I wish you all the best to these office bearers. I'm sure this can bring a huge transformation to every one of your life. PMI tagline always says, good thing happen associating with PMI, and I am sure it will happen to you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. Well, we are extremely happy to have Mr. Lee Lampert as our chief guest. And thank you, sir, for your wonderful, crisp and clear session, which was short, which was brief, and which was exciting for each and every participant. It was indeed a pleasure to have you here. Thank you, sir. Krishna Kumar, sir, you are the backbone. Thank you so much for your wonderful words for us. We always find it interesting working with you for more the rest of the programs which we are held. I guess you can really understand how excited I am and how excited I am off to work with you. Thank you, sir, for gracing this occasion. Thank you so much. Now, I would like to hand over to Kellen. Over to you, Kellen.
Congratulations to the new office bearers. To propose the vote of thanks, I would like to call upon Mr. Prajit Prasanna Kumar, the president of the Academic Forum at Saintgits College of Engineering.
Hello, am I audible?
Yeah.
So, good evening all. My name is Prajit Prasanna Kumar, and the duty bestowed upon me today is to deliver the vote of thanks. So, starting off, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to our executive chairman, Engineer Punnu George, for inspiring us and for giving us this opportunity to start the forum. Sir, it was your insightful thoughts that led us to run a successful forum for the last 2 years. I sincerely thank our principal, Dr. Joseph Kunyu Paul C., and our Dean, Research, Dr. M.D. Matthew for contributing their time and support to the success of this function. I would like to express my gratitude to our chief guest, Mr. Lee R. Lambert, for taking out time from his busy schedule to join us in inaugurating this function and giving us a talk on project management. I would also like to thank the President of the PMI Kerala chapter, Dr. Krishna Kumar T.I., the Secretary, Sri Harikutan K., the Vice President, Education Trainings, Sri Jayakishore S.R., and other board members and members of the Kerala chapter in helping us organize this event. I also thank all the PMI members and professionals for joining us today. I would also like to thank the faculty members of Saintgits, the members from various institutions, and last but not least, all the students for joining us today. Thank you.
Sorry, Grishma, sorry, can you unmute? Can you unmute?
Yeah. Hello, sir. Am I audible right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, sir. Thank you. With this, we have come to the end of the official inauguration of the function. Now, I request all of you to rise up for the national anthem.
पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगल दायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
That concludes our events for the evening. Thank you all for joining. We're Greshma Susan Reggie and Kellen Mariam Kennedy signing off. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Lee. Thank you, Lee. And
thank you, Mr. Lambert, for joining us in this event.
It's my pleasure. I really enjoyed it. I really did.
Yeah, and have a great day because
yeah, you do the same. Take care, all.
Yeah, it is. It's a morning to you, so a great day is in front of you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Krishna Kumar sir.
Thank you so much.
We have not met personally.
Thank you, Matthew sir. We'll soon meet.
Thank you once again for all joining in here.
Thank you. For us. Right. We have Hari, we have Dilip, we have our Jayakishore.
Yes, Dilip sir is already here.
Yeah, Dilip is there. I saw Dilip, I saw Jayakishore. Everybody is there.
Yeah, I see. Vishak Soman is also.
Vishak is there. Vishak is there. Jayakishore, Hari, Vishak, can you turn on the video, right?
Yes, KK.
Right.
And office bearers, please take charge. You have to have a lot of activities.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Sure, sir.
Jay, you start with giving them activities, right?
No, this time they are going to bring you time. come forward with activities of their own. We are not going to tell.
Okay, okay. That is